It was something that I noted, but because I'm not Connor, I was like, I'm just simply going to overlook this.
Flight 815 crash landed, but where? There's weird jungle noises and a polar bear. What the fuck is going on over there? Helen
and Alex
will guide you through. If you've seen Lost 20 times,
or if you're brand new,
welcome to our show. It's
Dharma Fish Biscuits. Hello and welcome to Dharma Fish Biscuits, your new favourite Lost podcast.
We're your hosts, Helen and Alex. We're going episode by episode, spoiler-free, bringing you all the hot takes no one ever asked for.
We are on Instagram at Dharma Fish Biscuits Pod. We're on TikTok at Dharma Fish Biscuits, and you can also email us on dharmafishbiscuitspod@gmail.com.
We have a free Patreon. You can find it at patreon.com/dharmafishbiscuits. Join it for free. There are jingles there, there's outtakes, other little bonus bits, and of course, the spoilery version of the show.
Yes. We edit out spoilers from our episodes to make sure this podcast feed is spoiler-free for newcomers. But if you would like to hear the full, slightly longer episodes with spoilers, you can find those on Patreon for free.
Normally I would say, instead of going beat by beat, we aim to focus our discussion on the character the episode centres around. This time there is no character the episode centres around, so we'll just be talking about the flashbacks in one section, and then talking about the two different plot lines on the island.
Yes, indeed. This week, it is the first part of the finale. Season 1, Episode 23, Exodus, Part 1.
We made it. We made it this far.
Looks like we made it.
Fucking great episode. Everything Exodus. The even just the episode title, I'm like, chef's kiss, perfection.
Yeah. This is peak Lost.
This is peak Lost. Without giving too much away, the final note that I wrote down as the episode was ending was, in caps lock, I fucking love this show! This is the good shit.
I was absolutely weeping by the end.
Sobbing.
Sobbing.
Both times I watched it.
Shall we talk about it?
Let's get into it. Flashbacks.
Shall we talk about some flashbacks?
Oh no, actually, can I start with a note that a thought that I had before we even started with the first flashback when we had the previous Lees.
Oh yes.
And we were reminded that it was flagged for us that this is going to be a Rousseau episode. And I was like, we were so robbed of a Rousseau flashback episode. Honestly, this could have been that. I know they wanted to do something else with it, but why do we never get a Rousseau flashback episode? It's cruel.
Je m'appelle Danielle. Yes, I am French and I'm a legend as well.
Alex? We start our first flashback and it's just Walter's being a little shit.
Yeah.
He literally has just been removed from his home by a strange man who is telling him he has to get on a plane. And Walt's acting out. You can kind of understand him. I do think that already in this episode, the way that Malcolm David Kelly is starting to grow a bit too fast for his character is becoming apparent.
Obvious.
Yes. So the Walt problem starts here.
Yeah, well, I wonder if we'll have some resolution to that problem. We'll see. Also, I just want to point out, it is 5:23 a.m.
That's a number.
That's a number. That's a number. 15, 16, 23, 42, sometimes 108.
So he's just being a little shit. He's like watching Power Rangers really loud on the TV.
When Michael's like, turn it down, he's like, I'll turn it up instead.
Absolute psychotic behaviour. But we kind of understand why he's being such a little shit.
Then he runs off with Vincent and starts running out of the hotel. And this is my nightmare as a bystander.
Oh.
That then Walt's being like, leave me alone. And the guy comes out of his room and it's like,
you're not my dad. And you're like, as a as a third party witnessing this, I really don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, because it's not even that. Michael says to, like, this guy comes out of his room and Michael's like, it's okay, I'm his dad. And Walt's like, no, he's
would
not.
say that. The guy who's kidnapping a child.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this feels, I don't know. Did this guy just go back to sleep? Don't like to think about this guy's forward behaviour.
It was fine, I guess.
It's fine. He is his dad.
In this
and
case.
Guess what? And then, obviously, we're not going to the island, but we do then flash to Walt and Michael sleeping together on the island. They've healed themselves. Well done, them. Our next flashback is Jack. We get Jack at the airport.
A little guest cameo appearance from Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, of
who's
Fast
a big
and the
name.
Furious.
Big actor, making a little surprise appearance here.
Yeah, fun.
What are we to make of it?
Fun to get a cameo. Well, we make that she is sitting in the back of the plane. She's on Jack's plane, and she's sitting in the back that famously ripped off midair, along with Rose's husband, who was also in the bathroom at the back of the plane.
Indeed.
So, I guess Ana Lucia and Rose's husband went down together.
I have a few different thoughts about this. They're mostly like plane seat number related.
Oh yes. What seat numbers are they?
23.
23?
And 42. F.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So someone told me recently that in the event of an emergency, the safest place to sit is the back of a plane, which I never knew. And I'm always trying to sit as far forward as possible on a plane. So now I'm like, guess I'm dicing with death every time. Never knew that. Yeah. But that means that it should be more okay for Ana Lucia, someone who hates flying. You'd think she would be more happy being at the back of the plane.
You'd think so. Except, obviously, like, we haven't seen, like, the back of the plane went. It's gone off into midair. So, like, I don't know if that was the safest
I wouldn't
place
say
in
that
this
the lost
TV show.
plane accident is a standard case.
Well, that's true. Famously, the paste.
Also, she asks Jack if he wants to swap. Now, as someone who cares a lot about plane seat placement, I was like, yeah, Jack should swap. He's got 23B. That is guaranteed a middle seat.
Yeah.
Whereas 42F is quite likely to be either a window or an aisle, depending on how the plane is laid out.
I have just had to Google screen caps because I needed to check my memory. And Jack is indeed sat next to the window on the plane. So, do you think there was a spare seat and he moved over?
Or he did that, like, little life hack thing of, like, you're flying economy, but you buy several seats because it's still cheaper than flying business, and then you have, like, more space.
I've never even thought to do that.
I mean, not that I do that. I'm not rich, but he's a doctor, so...
I mean, it's a good job he didn't swap. Imagine what life would be like if he'd been in the back of the plane and we had this Ana Lucia character as our leader.
Oh... Well, we don't know much about her. We know she likes her tequila and tonic, which is a great drink, an underrated drink. So that immediately enamored me to her.
I can't do tequila at all.
Oh, yeah. Have you tried it with the tonic water?
To be fair, game changer. I've only tried like a shot of tequila, and it made me like throw it up again. So
yeah, I never used to drink tequila. I don't really do tequila shots, and I used to find it really hard to drink in general. But once you start adding a mixer into the game, oh, it's nice.
Okay, I'll bear this in mind.
Give it a try sometime. Also, I was really closely following the like Jack's drinking thing here.
Yeah, this came to mind. I remember you saying earlier in the season about Jack's drinking, and she notes that he's not drinking here.
And he says like, he says like, oh, I don't want to drink, or I don't drink, or something like that.
But he's and then they continue.
Yeah, well, if you'd let me get there. Then they continue to talk. And he's like, all right, give me one of those tequila and tonics. And then by the time he gets on the plane, he's like, give me all of your tiny bottles of alcohol. So is this a signifying to us that all is not right between Jack and his alcohol habits? Maybe.
Oh, so I thought he was ordering another tequila and tonic for her. And he was like, oh, you were having a drink. I'll get you another one. And I was like, she's only just got her one. And
he also like shames her a little bit for drinking before noon. And then goes on to order a drink himself. Classic Jack. I thought it was really interesting how, like, you know, if you remember when we had the conversation between Locke and Saeed when they were heading out to the Beechcraft plane, and Saeed was kind of interrogating Locke, and Locke was kind of calling him out on it and being like, oh, you used to be an interrogator, you haven't lost your touch. And kind of they went from, asking indirect questions to each other. So Saeed would be like making a statement, and Locke would be like, is that a question? And then Saeed would be like, framing it as a question. And Anne Lucy and Jack do exactly the same thing here, where she's like, oh, you haven't got a ring, is that like, what's that about, or whatever? And he's like, are you trying to ask me if I'm married? And she responds, are you married? And I thought that was fun because it was just like, it's like a different pair of characters doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah. I also like the fact that they almost have like a similar vibe to Kate and Sawyer, which is like they're two people who will like call each other out on stuff, or at least she is calling him out, and she's like, I'm going to get to the meat of this with you. Are you married? Like, let's cut all the bullshit. Let's get straight to what I want to actually ask you.
And they're kind of quite openly flirting with each other. And there seems to be a little spark of a little chemistry or something there. I think, how different things might have been if they'd have ended up in the same section of the plane. Yeah.
I mean, she says, we'll have the next drink on the plane. I assume they didn't do that. R.I.P. Annalisa, yeah. And then as she's leaving, she says, Jack, the worst part is over. And it's not... We're not exactly on our purgatory bullshit, but I feel like there's like this sort of ominous edge to it of like, the worst is over. Everything's okay. And you're like, that's the sort of thing that when I was watching for the first time, I was really trying to like dig deep into some meaning of like, what does that mean? The worst part is over. Is there some like higher knowledge that's making her say that? Little things like that are what I love about this show.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was just like, is her dad also dead? Like, that, she's giving us like the little glimpse of, I've been where you are. I know what this is like.
That's
and
true.
maybe we never get any more than that, but like, what a nice moment of empathy.
Yeah. I guess there's also the dramatic irony that if we take it at face value, she's being like, hey, he's dead, it's okay. And we know that, oh no, Jack's about to face quite a tough time on the island.
True.
The worst is indeed.
There's quite a lot of stuff ahead of him. Yeah.
I had one other thing another breadcrumb that we learn about Jack.
Okay.
After, like, Annalisa asked me if he's married. He says, no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
The last Jack flashback we had, the last Jack back, if you will, was his wedding. So we know, and we saw in that episode him talking to his dad about, like, should I be marrying this girl? Like, is this the right thing? We don't know exactly the time span, but we know that eventually, by the time he gets on the plane, he's not married anymore.
Very good point. Something that would, for a first-time viewer, definitely stick out as being like... Because I guess we knew that Jack was married and no one on the island has ever, like, had that conversation with him about, like, so tell me about your life. Because people are too busy asking him to make decisions for them.
And he's flirting with Kate.
Yeah. And... it's a nice little extra detail, and maybe doesn't come as a huge surprise, given, like you say, that he was already halfway to backing out on the wedding day.
Yeah.
But a
nice little door to open for us to get some more flashbacks in season 2. Next flashback: Sawyer comes to the police station.
He had butted an Australian politician, and I simply can't be asked to get into all of that. Like, whatever. They're basically like they drop the. Name reveal. His name is James Ford. Welcome to the show, James Ford. We now know. And he's just like, listen, we simply can't be asked to like put you through our justice system, so we're just gonna deport you, which on this TV show means we give you a free plane ticket and don't do any sort of follow-up.
Yeah, I was like, is any of this what would happen? Also, this Australian accent, I think this wins my record for the worst one. Not other bad ones we've had have been over-exaggerated. This one is
4 billion beans, anyone?
This one is we simply can't be asked to even pretend to be Australian. There's so often he's just like talking in an American accent.
When it's all getting filmed on Hawaii, it's hard to find a good Australian accent.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, this was a lot of these flashbacks. I think the Jack one was maybe the most interesting because we get him talking to another character, but not... Oh, the Shannon one I thought was interesting. But a lot of the flashbacks, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. It's vaguely interesting to see them.
I think it's a kind of a fun take to be like, we're going to show you everyone, just the moments before, like the moments that brought them onto the plane or whatever got them onto the plane. Yeah. It's kind of inconsistent because some of them are like earlier the same day and some of them are like, we're at the airport on our way to the gate. Yeah. But it's kind of it's a nice, slightly different approach, doing something a bit different for the season finale. Sure.
The next one also didn't appreciate. It's Kate and the Marshal. The Marshal was like having all his guns checked by someone at the airport.
Yeah, I also thought it was pretty stupid and pointless. And they're just like, why do you need 5 guns? Oh, well, this one, she's so dangerous. It's like, okay, but your 5 guns are going to be locked up in a suitcase in the crew luggage compartment. So, like, even if she poses some kind of threat to you, it's not going to help. We just needed to have the guns there because we have them on the island and we just got to make them be there for some reason.
Also, this man only has 2 hands. How is he firing 5 guns? Like, what is he doing with all 5? Is he having one in each finger or something?
To think, to like, his logic is like, well, of course I need 5 guns, because what if she somehow manages to, like, trick the other 4 guns off of me? And it's like, well, if she's firing 4 guns in a plane, like, you have bigger problems.
Yeah. I feel like the main point, like, I think the point of this flashback was to establish that we've got 5 guns on the island, and or I guess if they thought it was a plot hole of, like, why would there be 5 guns? The second thing, we just get like a recap of Kate's backstory. If he's like, oh yeah, this belonged to a childhood sweetheart. She had him killed. And then she found out it was in a safety deposit box. So she staged a robbery.
We're doing a quick recap for anyone who missed the episode Born to Run. Yeah. This is the short version.
I mean, Born to Run and whatever the case may be, because he also recaps the robbery and her going into the safety deposit box.
Hey, you know, Lost was a phenomenon in season 1, and a lot of people were coming to the show halfway through or later on in the season. So maybe there's something to be said for that television of that age needed to do more of this kind of like catching you up, recapping you. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's sort of weird that Kate's the only one that gets that. All the other flashbacks are sort of like focused on the character. That's true. Anyway.
In any case, let's move on.
So the next one, we get Shannon and Boone in the airport.
Didn't make a single note about this.
Oh, I noted down some of the lines because I thought I enjoyed the dialogue between them. Saeed is just like, hey, can you watch my back? Thanks, bye. And then walks off. Boone tells Shannon they couldn't get into first class. And he says, one day you're going to appreciate everything I do for you. And I was like, oh, yes, you will. And it'll be when you're dead. Yeah. And they have this whole like back and forth. And it's a bit convoluted because she's like, oh, just try again. And he's like, oh, you're a bitch. You can't do anything. And she's like, you've got no idea what I'm capable of. And I thought that was another nice line. I liked her saying, you have no idea what I'm capable of, because I think that ties in again to a lot of the things we've seen on the island of everyone, but especially Boone telling her that like she's useless and can't do anything. Sure. And actually she has, like, we've talked about how she's trying to break through the stereotype that she's worthless. So her saying you have no idea what I'm capable of, I liked this. But then it's like, oh, she's going to prove that she's useful by reporting someone to security.
Well, that's the thing. When she says you have no idea what I'm capable of, she's not saying I'm capable of doing many good things. She's saying I'm capable of being a massive bitch and let me show you how much of a bitch I can be. Because she's threatening to get him thrown off the plane. Like, she's not on the level that you're on when she's saying that.
Yeah, because then she goes and reports some Arab guy, and the security's like, can you describe him, please? Arab? Okay,
that's your
Shannon.
Future sweetheart, Shannon. You don't even know.
Oh. And our final flashback is Sun and Jin. They're having a little coffee before the plane, and
some random woman is like, time to be extremely racist.
Yeah. As Sun is like putting a napkin down for Jin, this lady's like, shoot me if I ever treat you like that. And obviously we like close cut on Sun's face because she can hear this woman talking about her. And then Sun knocks the coffee over and Jin is like, oh, I need to go and sort my... He goes to the bathroom.
I mean, it's not nice to get coffee spilt on you. It's not Sun's fault.
No, I imagine it's quite hot. And then once again, the woman is like, oh God, it's like Memoirs of a Geisha, which I was like, is that, I've never read or seen Memoirs of a Geisha, but like,
I
is
think
it like
Memoirs
this,
of a-
or is it simply the fact that they're Korean?
Yeah, I mean, Memoirs of a Geisha was a big deal around this time. A massive cultural phenomenon in a way that I think we now look back on and think like, huh. But I mean, obviously, like, the stereotype or the idea about geishas is that this like really like subservient and sort of
I see.
traditional gender role type figures. So I think that's what she's referring to, and the fact that Sun is like doing everything for her husband and serving him and trying to, you know, clean up after him and whatever.
Yeah.
This woman, what an extremely bad vibe.
Horrible. She ends this by saying, relax, they don't speak English. And I assumed it was just so we can get inside Sun's head a bit of hearing all these people, not being able to express to them that you understand them, but you can hear everything that they're saying about you.
To be fair, Jin wasn't around then, so she could have turned around and been like, bitch, yes I do, but that's not
true.
Sun's way. All right, shall we round off and go to the island?
Let's go.
Oh, let's jump back to the present. Back to the island.
To the island, where Walt wakes up and he goes to pee against a tree. And then he's like looking over at the bushes.
There's a rustling sound.
Rousseau comes out and Walt does a truly comical job of hiding from her.
That guy is not sneaky, and
He gets-
I'm pretty sure that she clocks him the very second that she enters the beach camp, and then she's just like choosing not to address him or deal with it. But the bit where he ends up hiding behind a tree
Behind a
that's
pole.
literally about 10 centimeters wide is like, guy, what are you doing?
Very funny. The music as she comes in is spooky as fuck, and I loved it.
And I really just enjoyed the way that, like, we know Rousseau. We love Rousseau. We love any time she shows up. But you really got the reminder that for all of the people, apart from Saeed, for all of the people on the island, they're just seeing a strange woman holding a massive gun walking into their camp and not, like, heeding them when they say stop, slow down.
Yeah.
Really scary.
Yeah. Because everyone wakes up and then we see like all of our characters basically coming out. And I think, is it Sawyer? Sawyer does clock and she says, oh, this must be the French chick.
Yeah.
Like a little bold of them, I would say, because we know that Ethan existed on the island. And we're like, oh, there's another person. I guess that must be the one other character that we know exists on the island.
Yeah, but yes, that was their assumption. It was a correct assumption. And Ethan, you know, the one thing that you could never claim Ethan did was like stroll into the camp with a weapon drawn. Seems to be a very different MO here. But
true.
then her BFF Saeed comes out and it's like, it's chill, guys. It's my BFF Danielle. We're cool.
What's going on? And she tells them, the others are coming.
Let's fucking go. This is Lost.
Welcome to the show. Officially, the others.
We can finally use the words the others.
Also, Rousseau and Claire lock eyes. And Rousseau hears the baby crying, spots the baby, and is looking at Claire. And Claire's looking a little, like, I don't want to say suspicious, but maybe wary
Yes.
of Rousseau.
She's pretty wary about any newcomers joining their group, I guess, given that she's been taken.
Yeah, that's very true.
But yes, she's also very much like, no one touches my baby. So the way that
Yeah. Rousseau
Rousseau clocked the baby.
Turnip head.
Yeah, of course it's going to like give her the willies, as they might say in another country. Rousseau tells them they have only 3 choices. Run, hide, or die. Absolutely iconic shit.
Well,
God, I love Rousseau.
We also, so Rousseau tells them her backstory. And this is where, yeah, I think maybe like a little flashback might have been fun, but also I think there is something to bear in mind about the fact that as Locke and Jack talk about, Jack says Rousseau is not playing with a full deck. So I think the fact we don't get a flashback, we just get her telling the story, adds an air of ambiguity and it adds an air of an unreliable narrator about it, of like, how much can we trust what she's saying? And I think, forgive me and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even when she talked to Saeed, we got a bit more of a vague story, and this is the first time we get a more concrete story, where she says that the team washed ashore, she was 7 months pregnant, She then gave birth, and then a week later, there was a pillar of black smoke. And that night, the others came, and they took Alex.
Yeah, that's completely new information to us, I think. You're right.
Yeah. And then we get the run, hide, or die.
And she's like, and now I've seen another pillar of black smoke, so you're gonna need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Good on her, to be honest. She could have just been like, this is none of my business. I'm just looking out for number one. Those guys, good luck to you. But no, she's got a best friend in that camp, and she needs to make sure he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And also, she probably loves Hurley, because she's met Hurley, and anyone who's
That's
met
true.
Hurley loves him.
She famously loved Hurley. Hurley got to hug her. She was
Everybody-
quite static during the hug. but-
Everybody loves Hugo, I believe, is a fact.
I believe so. And then, like, a little bit later, as they're moving the raft, Walt suddenly points, and we get this incredible, iconic aerial shot going up of all the survivors as they're looking up into the distance. And what are they looking at? But
Plume of black
Plume of
smoke.
black smoke.
But before that, crucially, Jack, man of science, is like, well, I don't believe in stories that crazy French women tell. I only believe in what's tangible. And what's tangible to me right now is the raft. So I'm just going to fully ignore everything that she said. And we're just going to focus on the raft. It's like, I mean, okay. But then as soon as the plume of black smoke shows up, he's like, all right, fine. I guess I believe
Maybe
it
there is
now.
something here. So then, yeah, after they see the plume of black smoke, Jack is like, okay, fine, I guess we should do something. And then we get this really interesting group of people, which is Jack, Saeed, Locke, and Hurley. I guess maybe it makes sense because Hurley knows Rousseau, but for someone who's not generally involved in, like, the survival planning of the island, I think Jack, Saeed, and Locke make sense to be, like, tactically planning. And then they're like, hey, Hurley, come join us.
I had a real question later on about, like, why is Hurley on the dynamite hike? He doesn't like going on long walks. Like, he's not really bringing anything to the team in terms of his skills. Like, obviously we love Hurley and we want him in every scene, but it just was very not explained.
Yeah,
why
it's
he
never
was
really
with them.
explained why he's there. And I guess I've sort of come up with this reason why they bring him when they go and talk to Rousseau, because they're like, you know her, maybe he's told them they've got a rapport.
Yeah.
But why would he? Surely he's then like, okay, she's told you about the dynamite. Have fun, guys, bye.
Yeah.
Anyway, she tells them that she is one person, so she can disappear into the jungle. But
And she does, frequently. She loves it. It's her favourite hobby.
But you've got 40 people. Where will you hide?
And they kind of look at each other and are like, well, we do have one option.
We do have a massive hatch. And some good lore info. Rousseau asks what it is. She's never seen anything like it. So one potential theory is the hatch anything to do with Rousseau? Out the window. She's never seen this hatch before in her life.
Sure thing. I found it to be, like, really satisfying, the way in which the show ties together, like, the threat of the others, which has been, like, a looming, building sense of threat the whole season, and the having found the hatch, which was very much thrown in there as, like, a random mystery box storyline, and, like, tying them together. It's like, well, because of this threat, we need to use this thing, and it's
Yeah.
just, like, felt very
It is
well
very
crafted in
satisfying.
that moment, and just being like, oh, this is the good shit.
Yeah. And also brings more people on side, because, like, brings them on side of, okay, I guess we do have to open this thing and we have to get inside now because we've got a real impetus to do
Yeah,
it.
it moves the hatch storyline forward in the sense of, like, now we have to tell other people about it, we have to start engaging with it more. It's not just something that Locke's doing because he has, like, he fixates on specific things.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, Saeed is still there as their naysayer. And he points
And
out quite
honestly,
reasonably,
like,
I feel.
Why are we not listening to Saeed when he says, what if it belongs to them? Yeah, isn't that gonna be, like, your first thought when you're thinking about Ethan and the way that he seemed to be able to, like, mysteriously appear and disappear into the jungle? Like, oh, well, maybe the group of people that he belongs to have hatches.
And also, as Rousseau said, like, Rousseau has confirmed that there are more than just Ethan. There are multiple people. And as she said, one person can disappear into the jungle. Where are you going to hide a large group of people?
I think that people should be listening to Saeed. Saeed, my president. Justice for Saeed. Hit the jingle.
He was the one to start organising. Jack just made a speech. That's structural racism on the island. Justice for Saeed.
They're just Jack and Locke are aligned, and when Jack and Locke are aligned, there's truly nothing you can do to stop them getting what they want.
Yeah. And Locke remembers what else did Rousseau have? She had explosives, and she's going to take them to get some dynamite at the Black Rock.
I love this bit of dialogue. She says she knows where there's dynamite at the Black Rock in the Dark Territory, and Hurley responds, well, that's 3 reasons to go there. Incredible stuff.
Yeah. Again, Hurley, why are you here? You can leave at any point.
Okay, rude.
I mean, sorry.
He's being the comic relief. That's why
This
he's
is true.
there.
I don't want Hurley to leave. I'm having a good time, but Hurley really seems like he might want to leave. He might prefer if he was not here.
He's like, I actually didn't choose to be part of the, like, top tier A team of characters. Can I like get demoted maybe?
Is that
like, can I go hang out with Rose? Rose hasn't been on the show in ages.
I accidentally became important at work.
And we have Arzt, amazing. He honestly, like, I guess when I thought about Arzt before doing this rewatch of the show, I was just like, oh, he's so annoying. But watching it now, I was like, he's so good and funny, actually. The way he's like, so, great speech. Just wondered if you might want some help so you don't all die.
You want to keep a secret? Don't tell the fat guy.
I mean, true. Hurley is not the one to tell.
No. Kate also inserts herself, decides that she's coming.
For old time's sake, whatever
For
that
old time's
means.
sake. And he's
She's like,
oh,
remember how we used to go on missions together? We've known each other for 4 weeks. No, they're what are they up to now? 40 something days.
This is day 44.
There you go.
So we've been here 44 days now.
And they've already been around each other enough to have the good old days.
Then he's like, oh, you're going to miss the raft going. Implying you're going to miss Sawyer leaving. And she says she's not good at goodbyes. She's simply born to run, Helen. So then we get them heading off like across the caves. And this to me feels like a lot more of the Lost we're going to get in the next 5 seasons, which is less beach, more rocks. And like those caves.
Wait, why are you calling them caves? So you mean like the flat bit of rock that they're walking along?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm calling them caves. What are they called? Is it just rock? That's like a cliff, isn't it? Maybe cliff is the word I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's probably a better geographical word for it. Geographers write in. But yeah, when they're walking along this like flat rock plain,
yeah,
and the music kicks in. Honestly, the music, there are so many incredible music moments this episode. You can't even like note them all down, but this was the first time that I was like, the music is making this scene. Without it, it would have just felt pointless and like, why are we just watching people walk over rocks? But instead it was just like epic and amazing.
Yeah, and like the swooping camera as well, and you've got the ocean in the background. It's just stunning all round.
It's also, I feel like we kind of know that bit of rock, flat rock area. We've seen other people walking across it, and of course because they're like retracing their steps to places that they've been before. But yeah, we will see more of it as well.
We will.
We're halfway through the podcast. We talk a lot, we know. Why not take this time to write a review? It helps more people find the show. Or pop us a little email. Or simply tell a friend. We're gonna need some listeners if we're to make it from the pilot to the end.
Because of the particular constellation of folks that are on this trip together, we get a little scene between Locke and Rousseau, which I'm just thinking like incredible pairing. Can we get more of them together? Just like...
It's sort of surprising we haven't seen them before, because I do think they are real equals.
They're very much like the same type. You know, how we were talking before about how like Kate and Sawyer are of the same type.
Yeah.
Locke and Rousseau, it's almost like you almost can't put them together because they're too similar in their ways.
Yeah. He notices she's got some scratches on her arm. She tells him
We're all
they came from
thinking
a bush.
polar bear, right?
Maybe.
I mean, they look pretty polar bearish.
Oh, do you not remember?
No, I don't remember. Of course I don't remember. I don't remember a fucking thing about this show, apparently, even though it's my favourite TV show. I've seen it 4 times.
We get this incredible discussion between Hurley and Arzt, where they're trying to pronounce Arzt's name. And Hurley's like, Arzt. He's like, no, Arzt. A-R-Z-T. And then he's like, I'll just call you your first name. And he's like, no, we don't need to talk about my first name.
Arzt is fine.
I think Leslie's a bitchin' name.
Bless him.
Incredible stuff.
I love that Arzt is a coward. Honestly, like, representation for cowards on this show. People who are just like, oh, I thought this would be just like a regular hike, but now she's talking about a guy losing his arm and the dark territory, and I'm actually going to go home. Bye!
Yeah, so we get to Le Territoire France, the dark territory. She tells them this is where the team got infected. This is where Montand lost his arm. And yeah, I wanted to help, but that was before Montand lost his frickin' arm. Great stuff, Arzt.
Yep, and he's like, peace out, you guys. And Jack's like, wasn't the whole reason you were here because you have knowledge about dynamite and, like, we're going to help us handle it in a safe way? And he's like, yeah. Short version, be very careful. That's so helpful,
Great,
guy.
thanks.
Thank you.
I would simply have never thought of that.
Anyway, we quickly see him coming back in a, like, really wild way that he's, like, yipping as he's running away from the monster. And obviously, like, it's just there to kind of make everyone be like, oh, what's that spooky sound? What's happening? And then we see it's Arzt running, and he's like, run! As we all do when we're running in fear, I guess. I mean...
Famously.
And what does the monster say? This, like, honestly, like, the way that I genuinely thought when we heard that in the pilot, I was like, we'll never hear that sound again. We're always like, hearing it with the monster. It's just that it's so odd.
It's what the season 1 monster sounds like. Everyone runs away except Locke and Hurley. Locke says, Hurley, stay still.
He's like,
wait.
Hurley, I need to recruit another person to my cult of personality, so let me just do this thing with you real quick.
Oh, that's true. I guess he doesn't have anyone in his cult now, because Jack is famously a man of science. Saeed is saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't open this hatch.
Saeed is extremely skeptical to everything Locke does.
Yeah, so Locke is like,
Boone's
who is my new disciple?
He has Charlie, I guess, but Charlie's kind of busy. And so Locke's like, no, you don't need to run. Simply stay here and the danger will pass. And it does. So, you know, points to Locke.
Because lest we forget, Locke has met the monster. And, like, I had to remind Connor about this because this was really early on in the show that this happened.
Also, they never make it, like, that explicit. It's for us to kind of figure out that he's been eye to eye with the monster. I don't think...
Well, so there's the aerial shot where, like, the camera is the monster and then it, like, pauses on Locke as Locke looks up at it. And then later when Locke is talking to Jack, I think it's Jack, he says, I looked into the eye of the island. What I saw was beautiful. So I think it's just it's worth keeping in our head that, like, that is Locke's relationship with the monster.
But I can understand that for a first-time viewer, you would totally lose track of the idea that Locke has met the monster because he's not telling anyone else about it. We're not getting reminded about it in any other way on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's on you to keep track of these little details as a viewer.
Yeah. And because he's not encountered the monster since that point. So we haven't seen anything with him with the monster since then. So this is the first time that he's coming up against it again. And he's like, we don't need to run. We can wait. It's okay. And yeah, then it goes the other way. And all good. No monsters here.
And it's kind of like points for Locke because he read the situation correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like sort of raises him slightly in our estimation. We're like, oh, I guess he does understand this island a bit better than some other people do.
Yeah.
So while Locke and Hurley are standing and chilling, the other three, that is to say Jack, Kate and Rousseau, take cover in some trees.
3 people, you say, Helen?
I sure did. Then we know what we must do. 3 characters in a scene. You know what that means. It's time for Fuck, Marry or Kill. Fuck, Marry or Kill. Okay, Oh, yeah, this is challenging. It's
Ooh.
challenging because I love Rousseau, I love Kate, and I hate Jack. So
Yeah.
I guess I'm killing Jack first off. Marry Kate. Shag Rousseau? Because I don't think I want to marry Rousseau because she's kind of crazy.
Oh, I was going to say, I think I might marry Rousseau because I feel like she's got a lot of useful skills.
You're always looking for skills in a marriage. It's really strange.
I
Very
love a skillful partner.
transactional view of a romantic relationship.
Oh. Also, she can improve my French that I haven't used for 13 years.
Has it been that long?
That's very funny. Very good. That really tickled me.
Am I gonna stick with that? I don't think it's a great idea to marry Rousseau, so I guess I'm happy with my choice.
Okay, well, I won't be judged for my choices, Helen. Me and Rousseau will be very happy together.
Enjoy that.
And I guess I'm gonna fuck Kate and kill Jack. And then we get a really interesting conversation between Kate, Jack, and Rousseau, because Rousseau is like, it's okay, it's safe now. And Kate says, what is that? Rousseau says, it's a security system.
Incredible lore drop. But importantly, as you noted earlier, Rousseau's kind of an unreliable narrator. We don't know how much she actually knows, how much she thinks she's figured out, how much she's kind of been told, perhaps by other people.
Yeah. So we get that it's a security system. Its purpose is that of any security system, to protect something. What's it protecting? The island.
That's what she tells us. And like you were saying before, for those of us watching the show the first time around, it was just like, oh my god, we just got so much new information. Like, what does that mean? And I think it also ties us back to the previous episode where we met Rousseau with Saeed, and he says something like, oh, what about the monster? And she says, there's no such thing.
There's no such thing as monsters.
Obviously implying like the thing that you're referring to as the monster, I do not think is a monster. And this is kind of like the next level of that explanation of like, oh, it's not a monster, it's a security system.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call, actually. Then Arnst comes back. Oh no, because Hurley's like, where's Arnst? And he comes striding out the jungle. He's like, it's Arnst, you frickin' idiot. He's like, dude, I thought you were dead.
And then, of course, we get the reveal, finally the Black Rock reveal. And it's fucking cool. Love this moment every time.
It's not a rock at all.
It's a big ass ship.
Black Rock is a ship.
An old ship. That's all I have on this plotline.
Yeah. Shall we go to Raft Town? So, Michael is letting Jack know that they wanted to leave today, but they need to lay some rails. They've got a manpower shortage. And Jack's like, well, how many people do you need? And Michael's like, everyone.
And Jack's like, it's cool. I'm good at getting people to do what I want.
It's like, I'll go find some extras.
Let's go find all the people and tell them that I want them to do this, and then they'll do it. Honestly, another incredible music moment while everybody is working together to push the raft into the water. The music just makes the show what it is. It's incredible. Yeah. They do a good job for a while of like a lift and push to get the raft in. But then like it slightly goes off course and falls apart a little bit, and Michael loses his shit. And I'm just like, guy, you're the project manager on this. You need to be able to like keep a cool head when things don't go exactly right, and then just be like, okay, regroup, what's the next stage? Instead he starts yelling at Sawyer, and I'm just like, I don't appreciate
he starts yelling
this.
at Sawyer, and Sawyer's like, oh, I'll help you. What are we going to do? Michael's like, no, don't even worry about it. I'm going to talk to Jin instead, and although we don't speak the same language, he'll be much more helpful.
Next time we cut back to the raft, it's Michael and Jin working on repairing it. They're like a little married couple bickering together. And like you say, when Sawyer's like, listen, I can help, give me a job, Michael's like, it just goes quicker when we work together, which I love. Like, he's like when he and Jin work together. Yeah. And I just love the fact that like they have gotten so close and are so like synced in their way of working that even though they don't have a common language, it's still quicker for them to like...
Yeah, they're on the same page.
Yeah. Love it.
Then we get Charlie collecting his little messages in a bottle to take on the raft. And he goes to Locke and says, oh, do you want to write something? And Locke's like, oh, that's sweet. And walks away.
No response. Yeah, no, and honestly, it's like a really nice character moment for Charlie, someone who's kind of been a little bit underdeveloped maybe for a while.
Yeah.
The fact that he would have the thought of doing this, and he's not going on the raft, but he's seen like, oh, this is a possibility, something we could do that would be helpful and nice. So
Yeah, I love Charlie. I think he's great.
No.
This is a great time for him.
He's fine.
Hurley is right. Hurley is writing him a message and says, "Don't look at this." And then Charlie immediately picks it up and unrolls it. And Hurley's like, "No!" Oh, our sweet little island friends.
And then they start to have their like first round of goodbyes because the people
Yeah.
who are going off on the hike mission are saying goodbye to the people on the raft mission.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Jack tries to like say something to Walt, and we're like, this guy fucking cannot talk to kids, and that seems extremely on brand for Jack, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. But he tells him to look after Michael. And then Kate's looking around. She wants to say bye to Sawyer. She asked Charlie where he is. Charlie hasn't seen him.
No, they're missing each other.
Oh. But she's not good at goodbyes, so it's okay.
They also already had their goodbye, like in the previous episode they said like, well, this is probably the last time we're going to see each other, so bye.
Yeah. Maybe she was going to make amends.
Good job they did, really, I suppose.
Yeah. So then Sawyer comes back and he's been off in the jungle by himself, cutting his own bamboo mast after Michael dismissed him. And he's like, there you go, it's measured, it's cut to length.
Honestly, a great Sawyer moment. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like maybe this episode is the turnaround for Sawyer's character, when he goes from being someone who's predominantly an antagonist to being someone who's predominantly like on the same team as the rest of the Losties. Because between the mast thing, where he's like, look, you told me to fuck off, but instead I went and did something really useful and good, and the scene with Jack that we'll get to later, it's like now he's behaving with like kindness and consideration towards other people without having any like specific selfish intentions of his own. And that's new, I think, for Sawyer.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Oh, good. I like that for him.
Welcome to your redemption arc, Sawyer.
And then the next round of goodbyes, sort of goodbye, is Walt bringing Vincent to Shannon. And this is when I start crying.
Losing it. Oh my god. Yeah, he says that like Vincent is a good listener, so you can talk to him about Boone.
He took care of me when my mum died. Nobody would talk to me, so I talked to Vincent. Oh my
Absolute
God.
crying.
Yeah. And then Shannon like at first is like, what? Why are you doing that? And I don't know. I find Shannon so fascinating because she has this guard up around her, and she like, her instinct is to be judgmental and aloof with people. But then Walt is just being like, yeah, here's my dog. You can talk to him. He'll listen to you.
I thought it would help you. Yeah.
And her walls come down and she agrees. And she says, yeah, she'll take him, but only till you get us rescued. And they have a hug, and she takes Vincent.
Real sweet.
Great stuff. We're not going to play his jingle yet, though. His jingle is yet to come.
Dry our eyes. There's more crying to come. We have a little scene of raft technology, which I absolutely cannot wait to hear Connor's Corner's response to.
Saeed says, I salvaged some things from the Beechcraft. Turn it on every hour. You can see if there's some ships. And also, crucially, gives them a flare gun that only has one flare in it. So we'll just keep that in our pocket and see what happens when we get out in the ocean. And then the next scene, the crying continues for me.
Oh, Sun giving her phonetic dictionary to
Sun
Jin.
and Jin. Because bear in mind, the last time we left them was in the last episode where she tries to poison him because she doesn't want him to go, and they basically just say, oh yeah, I'm going. And Jack says to her, he's going, you gotta say goodbye. So she comes and gives him a book, and it's got phonetic spellings of words about sailing. And I just love the fact that she's like, okay, yeah, I need to not, like, I can't take control of this situation by stopping him. I need to just accept this. What's going to be helpful for him? And so she's not even just being like, okay, yeah, I forgive you, bye. But she's doing something to actively
it's really
improve
thoughtful.
his situation. And Jin thinks it's thoughtful too. And then he breaks down and he starts crying. And he says he's sorry. And Sun says she's sorry too.
And she's like, you don't have to go. And he's like, listen, I'm in this place because I'm being punished because we're still on our purgatory bullshit.
Hit the jingle.
We're on our purgatory bullshit again. We're on our purgatory bullshit again. They were never dead the entire time, but we definitely wanted to make you think they were back then.
But they kind of like have found their way back to each other, and we get the kind of a bit of a retcon that we referenced in an earlier episode when he's like, no, I have to go so that I can save you. Which I was like, or you could simply just stay because there are other people on the raft. So if she's getting saved either way. Yeah. But hey, he's a proud man, and
I was going to say, I feel like it's the masculinity thing of like, I want to be actively involved in the saving of you. I'm going to go and do this for you.
But they both cry and they're hugging, and I'm crying, and
I'm crying. It's so sad. And then, oh my god, we get the final scene.
The big round of goodbyes. And like when Walt is saying goodbye to, he's like holding his dog.
He hugs Vincent.
Talking to him. I'm crying.
Yeah. Like literally every single one of these, like all of this whole montage from the beginning to the end is just perfect. Because Walt's hugging Vincent. Jin, like Claire comes to see Jin. And Jin gives Turnip Head a little kiss. Michael and Sun go to say goodbye, and they're sort of like awkward, and they like go to shake hands, but then they have a hug, but it's still like a really like wooden awkward hug. Charlie and Jin have a hug. Walt and Shannon, which are like two people that haven't really had anything to do with each other, but now they've got like the common Vincent bond. They have a hug. Charlie gives Sawyer the bottle of messages, and I love the fact, like you say, Sawyer's redemption. He's the one that's trusted with this bottle of messages,
and he immediately takes it and puts it in the old box, which I was glad to see because I was really concerned about that bottle was going to be like bouncing around all over the place on the raft.
Same. Sun and Jin have another hug, and then Sawyer looks back over the camp and sees
there's one person missing that he wants to say goodbye to.
It's like Kate's not there, but also it's like a nice final shot of this was home. This was home for 44 days, and now we're off. Goodbye. And I just think, like, and under this whole thing, the music is swelling. We've got incredible music, and it's just really driving home the connection between the people. Because, like I say, like, these people that not necessarily we've seen plot-wise form the closest bond, like Jin and Claire, Walt and Shannon, but they've still lived together and they've been part of this community, and now it's like being irrevocably changed. Mm-hmm. Like these people are leaving, so these people, we might never see them again, but if we see them again, it might be when they're rescuing us to take us home to go to our various cities, countries, own lives. Like this is the beginning of the end for this little community they've built, and I think that the show did an amazing job at showing us that and really driving home like the emotion between them. And I love the show.
I love the show. The raft sets sail. Everyone's so happy,
we get
waving
it out to
goodbye.
Sea. Everyone's, oh my god, Charlie whooping and jumping up and down. Everyone's waving, and then
Vincent destroys us emotionally.
Vincent runs away from Shannon,
and of course,
and goes out into the sea, and he's trying to follow Walt.
To get back to Walt.
And Walt's saying, no, go back. And I was like sobbing,
weeping,
my cheeks are wet. Oh my god.
Absolutely broken.
And he's saying, you need to go back. And then we get this incredible shot. And I think this is where I'd like to play the jingle. You're welcome to do it otherwise. But this incredible shot where we just like sit on Vincent as he's got his head up and he's just doing his little doggy paddle back to the shore. And it's just incredible.
Who's a good protagonist? He's got a tail and he's wagging it. Don't try to deny the significance of the second character we meet, Vincent.
And also, like, as this scene ends, the raft is sailing away. We have like this, I don't know, this camera angle from above, so there's obviously like camera technology is being used.
Yeah, they
and
bring up the sail, and when they bring the sail up is when everyone is
Forget
like
about
grinning.
it.
And everyone on the raft, they're like laughing, and Michael hugs Walt, and he's like, see, I told you it would work. And everyone is so happy, and it's just absolute peak joy. And yeah, the strings are like swelling and reach the peak, and the camera zooms out, and we see the gorgeous ocean. It's just amazing.
Also, this is the point where, of course, I had to turn to my partner who's watching Lost for the first time and being like, you know, they did all of this with practical effects. Like, when they're out on the water, they're really out on the water. They don't have any green screens. Like, very crucial to know, I think, because, like, they simply don't make TV this way anymore, and they should, because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And it, like, cuts to black at that point, and we're like, oh
and
my
God.
And
at first you're like, the episode's
what an amazing
over.
Ending.
What
so
a great
good.
place to go out on. And then, oh no, this is Lost.
And then we get, like, one tiny clip of the black smoke as the music is going, ooh. Because, we can't actually be happy.
No, we can't be happy. We have to be pulled back down into the spooky mystery of it all. But what a fucking incredible episode. They did it.
Amazing.
They really did it.
There is one miscellaneous scene that I would like to talk about.
Yeah, we have to talk about the Jack and Sawyer scene.
And that is Jack and Sawyer. So while Sawyer is hacking up his bamboo with no top on, I'd also like to say, big episode for Sawyer's nips.
It was very much a case of like, we're going to be putting a thirst trap in here so that Sawyer can get nominated onto the hot ranking of this podcast that's going to come out 21 years in the future. So that's why we're doing that.
Jack comes and he gives him a gun to take on the raft. And is like, you're the only one who knows how to use this.
Which Sawyer asks some very reasonable questions about, such as, is the idea that if we run out of food and water, then I can put the kid out of his misery. It was like, that's dark, but like...
Or, in case you meet any untoward characters in the ocean, I suppose. Or a shark. And then Sawyer, like, has this realization that it's goodbye because Jack is going in the jungle after the boomsticks. Jack's like, yep, well, good luck, bye.
Good luck.
And goes to leave. And you get this second where Sawyer is, like, watching him and considering what to do, which we had the same time earlier in the season when Sawyer realized that it was Jack's dad he met. Because that's when they're having a conversation and Jack's like, why are you asking me about my dad? And Sawyer pauses and thinks and says, no reason. But
now he's like, oh, I'm on my redemption arc now, so it's time to tell Jack this story. And what a fucking incredible scene, once again.
Yeah.
Like, and crucially, as we've called out in previous episodes, he regains Jack's attention by calling him by his name and says, Jack.
I didn't even pick up on that, but you're right.
Not just freckles to me, not Mohammed or Ali. I'll call you by your name. Not just Doc for once, I won't call you Stay Puffed. I'll call you by your name.
Before going into the whole story, Jack pretty quickly understands what's going on, but the way that his emotional reaction develops and deepens the further Sawyer gets into his story. It's just a real acting masterclass by Matthew Fox. It's not that I have to hand it to Jack, it's that I have to hand it to Matt.
I didn't enjoy it.
Really?
I thought, it's like I was so close to like being really emotionally moved because I think Sawyer's doing a great job. I think the music is doing a great job. But like the look of sort of pain on Matthew Fox's face, I just felt was like too much for me.
I thought it was great, like the way that he's kind of taking in what Sawyer's saying, and the whole time you can kind of see his thought process being like, sure, but this might not necessarily be my dad. And then he drops his name and like Jack has to turn away because he can't bear to let Sawyer see the emotion that he's feeling. And the way that Sawyer meets that by, instead of commenting on it or joking about it or stopping or even asking if he's okay, he's just like unflinchingly continues to share this information that he's committed to sharing. And I
think because he also knows that for the most part, although it's painful for Jack to hear, I think it's good. Like it's a form of closure for Jack that he is saying like, your dad did love you. He was proud of you.
And the moment when Sawyer drops that, like, that he loves him, that is another thing that triggers Jack even more into this, like, almost like fully weeping and sobbing in front of his best frenemy. Like, I just loved it. I loved it so much. And the way that he finishes the story. He's not expecting or asking for anything from Jack. He's not expecting a response or like doesn't have any follow-up questions. So he just goes, small world, ain't it? Or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, sure is. Bye. Like there's nothing, nothing to be said to summarize what he's just taken in.
Well, again, he says, good luck, Jack. So again, he's calling him by his name and he's like wishing him luck. And he's like, all the best to you. I also had a thought while watching this scene that I was like, does this put Sawyer in danger in terms of, are we removing his like plot armor that now he's given Jack this closure? As you've said, he's been on this bit of a redemption arc. Is Sawyer as a character, does he no longer have this plot armor that protects him? And is he going on the raft? And now he's in danger because his character has like achieved what he set out to achieve. He's had this redemption. He's made his peace with Jack.
I can see what makes you say that, because like as long as they hadn't had that conversation, it was like a loose end that needed to be tied up, and now it is tied up. So I can definitely see what you mean in that sense. And also the whole thing that it's kind of unresolved with Kate, and if he was to die out on the raft, then it would be a whole emotional journey for her. Like, I could see it. Well, guess we've made it.
We did. We have made it.
Well, we have our regular bits. Connor's Corner.
If you want aviation or medical information, welcome to Connor's Corner.
The first thing to note is that black smoke is produced by hydrocarbons. So in order to have a pillar of black smoke, they must be burning something other than just like normal wood. So who's got access to some hydrocarbons?
Did he say anything about what a hydrocarbon is, like an example?
No, I'm afraid he didn't.
You don't ask any follow-up questions, and it's annoying.
I know that he says so many things that I'm like, okay. What are 5 examples of hydrocarbons? They are compounds that are obtained from the fossil fuel crude oil.
Okay. So if you had oil to burn, that would make black smoke.
Oh, methane, butane, propane, gasoline.
Cool. What else?
So the next thing, not a big fan of any of the ship technology. None of it is going to work without any power, and they will famously not have power.
Yeah, I mean, even as me, a non-Connor person, I did think about that when they were doing the technology stuff. I was like, seems like you wouldn't be able to use any of this, but okay, like, it's TV.
Also, a Beechcraft doesn't have a radar. And a radar on a civilian plane is only designed to detect weather and not detect other planes. It'll only be military aircraft that can detect other planes.
This is truly what we come to Connor's Corner for, so I'm pleased.
And even if it could detect other planes, it's designed to work up in the air. It's not designed to work on the water. So apparently it would just get returns from the water and it wouldn't see anything. And again, he wants to stress, there is no power.
Can't emphasize enough that these gadgets have no way of running.
Yeah. Additionally, they have
Fabulous.
no propulsion for the boat.
Sure.
So
I mean, yeah.
Waves simply wash up onto the beach, so no matter how good a shove you give it, it's just going to immediately come back.
Honestly, what an anticlimax for the raft to be like, bye! Can't see you when you save us! And then like an hour later, it just washes up 10 meters up the beach.
Yes. They should have put the sail down before they left, but I don't know if he means they should have put the sail up before they left. Also, he said there's no rudder, which means they have no directional control, but they famously do have a rudder.
They talk about the rudder a lot. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I did not understand the rudder talk.
He also, as previously mentioned, he thinks the raft is a terrible idea.
Sure.
Because they're going to dehydrate and simply die out there. But he thinks the black smoke has changed things, changed the situation. And what they should instead do is fill the raft with as many people as possible and sail to a different part of the island. So don't, like, he still thinks getting out into the water, bad idea, you're going to die, but you should get these people out of here, sail
I can see the
somewhere else on
logic
the
of, like,
island.
we're worried about the safety of our group.
Yeah.
We have a raft. We could, like, that could be a place that we might more easily be able to kind of keep people safe and together. We at the same time, we know that Ethan, or someone who we presume to be Ethan, made an approach from the water when he killed Steve. So is that safe? We don't really know.
Yeah.
Is it Steve who's dead, or is it Scott who's dead? I think it's Steve.
Hit the jingle.
Which one is Scott and which one is Steve? You say you know the difference, I don't believe you. Which one is Steve and which one is Scott? You say you know the difference, no you do not.
So I think that'll do us for Connor's Corner this week.
Thanks. Loved it. Hot ranking.
Hot can be physical, hot can be emotional. Hot is whatever we decide, and everyone's attractive, but who's top of the ranking? Who's the hottest one on this island?
Easy choice.
Are you nominating Sawyer? You fell for
Sawyer's
their
nipples.
fell for their trap.
I fell for the trap. And I'd really like if when you do the hot ranking image, you could put his nipples on there.
I'll consider it.
Thanks.
Lovely stuff. I will be nominating Jin. I
Great.
mean, he was fit as fuck in this episode. So let's have a little look-see.
Sawyer's got to go up to the top.
So the hot ranking is now as follows. Sawyer and his nipples. Jin, Charlie, Kate, Sun, Saeed, Hurley, Shannon, Michael, Claire, Rose, Rousseau, Locke.
Great.
If you were wondering if this episode passes the Bechdel test, absolutely not. They wouldn't dream of it. Okay, is that all? Are we done? God,
That is everything.
Incredible, iconic episode.
Yeah.
More of these, please.
Yeah. I can't wait for the rest of the finale. So that is us done. And don't forget, you can follow us on socials. We are on Instagram at Dharma Fish Biscuits Pod, and we're also on TikTok at Dharma Fish Biscuits. And if you have any Lust-related comments, questions, feedback, or thoughts about Sawyer's nipples, you can email us directly at dharmafishbiscuitspod@gmail.com.
Leave a review, give us a little rating, or tell a friend. We'd love that, thanks.
Yes. As a special little treat for the finale, instead of our usual schedule of every other week, we're releasing the 3 parts of the finale weekly. So come back next week for Season 1, Episode 24, Exodus Part 2. Until then, I'll see you in another life, Helen.
See you in another life, brother.